Welcome to the Scratch Golfer's Mindset Podcast. My name is Paul Salter, and I'm a triple-digit golfer on a quest to become a scratch golfer. I'm also a high-performance mindset coach and credentialed hypnotherapist with 15 years of experience helping high performers from all walks of life get unstuck and unlock their full potential. Join me each week as I not only detail my journey, but make mastering the mental game of golf simple, tangible, and relatable so that you can overcome the mental hazards keeping you stuck in the proverbial bunker of poor performance. Hey, fellow golfer. Welcome back to another episode of the Scratch Golfer's Mindset Podcast. I'm your biggest Redskins fan, as well as your host, Paul Salter, the golf hypnotherapist, and I can't help it, 7-2. I don't think the Redskins have started this strongly since the mid-90s, so this is literally nearly a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for me to celebrate, and you bet I am making the most of it. Today, I am recapping my experience unlocking the next level of play, opportunity, and potential. This past week, I developed a breadth of knowledge, further understanding how to execute aspects of my swing, and most importantly, understanding why certain repetitions are successful versus those that are not, being able to strengthen my skill set of self-diagnosis, troubleshooting on the fly to course correct and play better golf. It was an incredible week. I'm really excited to dive in. Before I do, just a quick reminder. Hey, if you're finding value in this podcast, it goes a long way in taking 30 seconds to leave a genuine rating and review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, wherever you are listening. It means the world to me. You can hit pause right now. Again, it takes less than 30 seconds there within the listening platform app you are using. It helps me to grow the show, get my message, coaching, education out in front of more people, and it is sincerely appreciated. So with that said, let's dive in. Let me set the scene. It's Friday morning. It's 5 a.m. I'm up beginning my normal morning routine, and I've got a lesson at 8 a.m. Now, where I live, it's one of those situations where if I want to be downtown at the golf course by 8 o'clock, it's a 30-minute commute without traffic. But it's one of those things, if I don't leave before like 6:30, it's going to take me an hour and 15 minutes. So the plan is just get there early. So I get to the golf course about 10 of 7. It's still dark outside. This is still before daylight savings time. And I just hop right to the chipping and putting area. I spend a solid 25 minutes chipping, rotating between my 52 and my 60-degree wedges. I spend another solid about 20 minutes putting. I am specifically working on distance and speed control, not even putting to a hole for the majority of this practice session, putting to a tee or putting to where the fringe meets the green, just working on pace, working on distance control. And then 8 o'clock, we dive in. And remember, my lessons with Coach Melvin, who, by the way, is Thursday's guest. Buckle up for that informative episode. But these lessons are 2 hours. And I made it very clear to him that by the end of the session, I needed to accomplish 2 goals. Number one, I needed an understanding of the mechanics of how to utilize and swing my driver. We had not touched on that during any prior lessons. We had done some text communications. Most of our work had been done on either putting or, the core swing working with irons. And then number two, I needed tangible drills to not only practice with him supervising to give me feedback, but that I could take home and begin implementing on a more regular basis rather than just, to be frank, aimlessly swinging in my backyard, thinking everything is perfect, and then it doesn't quite translate on the course. So the way that we began was usual. Let me see you hit a couple balls. I think I grabbed my pitching wedge or my 9, or maybe I hit both of them. And to be frank, things were pretty good. Things looked pretty good in, those 10 to 15 shots he observed me hitting. But of course, there are always things to work on. So He broke me down. And where we noticed the biggest opportunity for growth, I'm not finishing swings. Period. I'm still a little, handsy and armsy. Is that a word? We'll make it happen. I'm not utilizing my entire body. I'm not engaging my core and lower body to the ability I could be. And I'm not finishing swings. I'm not fully rotating through. I'm not fully getting my wrist over and through the ball. And first and foremost, I'm leaving distance on the table. Secondly, my misses are right because the club head's not getting completely square at impact. And a lot of that he's been helping me really try to drill like knuckles down and through for me. He gave me a couple other pointers and insights that were really helpful. But what we worked on first and foremost was a really unique drill to help make sure that my hands are coming down and through the ball. So we spent a lot of time on drilling without hitting a golf ball. Very powerful, very redundant. Very boring is actually what I meant to say, but it also was redundant. And then second, we started implementing a pause at the top of my backswing and then making sure, so if you can imagine beginning your takeaway, your backswing, before executing the downswing, he calls it cowboying or opening your hips. I'm opening that left hip. I'm a right-handed golfer to begin not only creating space for my arms to come down and through, but for my hips to rotate, for me to really engage the lower half of my body and rotate all the way through my swing. So a lot of slowed down, off the ball, methodical drill work for about the first hour. And the translation, the transference, once we put a ball into the training area was magical. Instantly a better flight path, a straighter, more consistent trajectory, and a further shot. So that was really good. But where my mind was blown was during the second half of my lesson. My approach off the tee is with the driver or a 3-wood or a 5-wood. Those are the three clubs I use. Lately, I've really been hitting my 5-wood well. It goes 215 to 220, and when I hit it well, straight as an arrow. When I don't, I pull it left. We worked on a lot of takeaways here. But what I want to get to is my approach is just try to hit the ball straight. That's it. Driver, 3-wood, 5-wood, try to hit the ball straight and in play. I miss right all the time. Sometimes it's a nasty slice. Sometimes I hook the ball completely. I miss both directions, to be frank. What Melvin helped me understand was first and foremost how to hit a draw, a fade, a cut. And it really opened my eyes to the importance of footwork and foot placement, to the importance of the subtle different angles in my takeaway. And in hindsight, I can say that makes sense. Like, okay, yeah, I'm aware of that. But I wasn't really aware. It was buried in the very, very border of unconscious, conscious awareness. And he not only helped me understand the impact of how the club face would be striking the ball based on my takeaway, if I was straight back, a little outside, a little inside, helping me understand the impact my foot placement had. But he helped me understand too that the way I'm naturally swinging now and where my inconsistent misses come from, I can play a natural cut with just a subtle change and a, what's the word I'm looking for? A cue, an area of focus in my takeaway. And what was really cool for me was I was able to execute that. I probably had 50. We ended up spending 3 hours on the range together. Absolutely incredible. One hell of a coach that just gives and gives. I had dozens and dozens of repetitions with his feedback, hitting cuts, hitting draws, hitting fades, making the subtle tweaks, understanding. And I really left the range more empowered than I've ever felt on my journey to date, particularly off the tee box, of course, because I now feel that I know how to control the ball. Whereas previously it was like, okay, just try to hit the ball as straight as possible, slow your swing down, double check your alignment, and then kind of hope and pray I didn't slice the ball or I didn't hook the ball, just mishit the fucking ball. So I walked feeling very empowered, feeling like I had a deeper degree of control off the tee. And it was exciting. Like really being able to like tell him, because part of our drills at the end was like, where are you aiming? What are you hitting? Are you hitting a cut, a draw, a fade? What are you doing? And having to communicate, this is my intention. And he would witness my setup and he would give me the feedback necessary. And then we would observe the results and course correct as necessary. But that was a really, really fun part of the lesson that unlocked a new level. And I walked away from that lesson just seeing more clearly than ever before glimpses of my potential. There's so much more to work on. I still have to just drill, build this unconscious competence to recreate or access swinging and playing to my potential on demand. But I'm seeing the potential. I'm seeing how it's all coming together. And as you, my friends, are going to learn in the next handful of guest episodes on the podcast, I talk a lot with my guests, and it's because of my curiosity. I get really selfish in some of these episodes, trying to understand the reason, the why, the magic behind slow motion swing practice, off the ball swing practice and drilling, and pause swings. And you're going to hear from Jim Waldron, Ryan Moke, Henry Statina, 3 experts at their craft. And I have taken so much knowledge. I've recorded like 4 guest podcasts in a week, trying to get everything done ahead of time before the baby boy's here. And walking away and having some of these conversations around slow motion swinging and pause swings with Melvin, what I'm bringing forth with me is a lot more slow motion non-ball drill work, and doing so in front of a mirror. So that is what I have began implementing. We had my lesson on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and today's Monday, getting about a couple dozen high quality, slow motion in the mirror swings. Each of my repetitions right now taking probably 20 to 25 seconds from start to finish. And you're going to hear from the likes of Jim Waldron, who encourages both a 30-second and a 60-second super slow motion variety swing. But I'm working on really a concise, crisp takeaway, really getting my left shoulder back behind the ball, and then starting to turn my knuckles down just at the top of my backswing so that it's almost effortless and naturally occurring on my downswing already. So the club face is in the correct position and I'm able to, kind of kick out or cowboy my hip through at the beginning. And that subtle 1/8 of a second is allowing me to get my hips through, my full body into the swing, and ultimately get more power and consistency on the ball. And with my N=1 entirely tiny sample size in the backyard, crushing the ball, doing some of my paused swinging drills that I took away from the podcast guests and working with Melvin as well. So I'm feeling incredibly encouraged. I'm excited about the direction of my game. I also know any moment now that little guy's going to be here and there's going to be some type of momentary pause on my practice. But the beautiful thing is I am now equipped with so many non-golf ball at home practice drills. I have a mirror in my living room. I can pick up the club and do 2 swings in a minute or 2 just whenever I find a moment. And that's going to go a long way to further helping reprogram this new swing that's going to allow me to swing with my entire body, get my hips through full rotation, and make clean, consistent contact. And I'm excited. So 4 hours of nonstop golf practice, drilling, training, coaching on Friday. For some of us, and myself included, it's like, wow, that's a dream. 4 nonstop hours. And it was great. It really was. I had a little suspicion I would be quite sore and beat up on Saturday morning when I had scheduled a round of 18. So I took the time to do a little extra stretching and foam rolling Friday evening, and fortunately woke up feeling fresh, feeling limber, and took those new lessons to the range and to the course on Saturday morning. I got paired, because my playing buddy had to bail last second, I got paired with a couple, not in their 60s. Not in their 70s, just crossing the 80s, and they're out there both whacking the ball. I mean, the ball is not going very far, but you can imagine their short game is fucking impeccable. Really cool to see. I mean, the gentleman, I felt like he was automatic one-putting. He was just an incredible putter. I have an imagination. 24 to 27 putts this guy had. Really, really cool to witness. So cool. But as far as applying and already experiencing some immediate transference from what I learned Friday into Saturday's lesson, I can tell you, I felt a lot better off the tee. I still had my fair share of OBs and inconsistencies, not going to lie. But really what stands out, 2 par 5s where I set up for a draw on one of them, set up for a cut one of them strategically, intentionally, and executed flawlessly. And it was a fun feeling for me because there wasn't just hope and pray it goes straight. There was intention and an understanding of how to execute a shot. And then countless times there was an understanding as to why my shot execution wasn't what I hoped it to be. There was a par 4 that was playing about 265. I took the 3-wood and hit that sucker, just a slight cut right onto the green. Just missed my eagle putt by about maybe 12 inches, tapped that in for birdie. Definitely a highlight of the day. And then another one on 18. The hole plays about 310, but there's water, so you need to carry it about 255 based on where the tee box was. And same thing, I set up for a draw because it is a dog leg right, and I hit that sucker and it bounced, I'm 15 yards in front of the green. Really fun feeling to have more control and not pray to hit it straight and end up slicing it or just pulling it way left at 150 yards. So a lot of progress. I putted incredibly average. I still had one too many OBs, and I shot a 93. And to be frank, I had a terrible start. I had 3 OBs on the first, 4 or 5 holes. I was like +6 after 3. I had a triple bogey or 2 because I had 2 OBs in one hole. I just one hole where I don't even remember why, other than I hit my drive right down the middle. It was a 5-wood. It was on a par 5. It was actually a double, excuse me, I misread. But it was just par 5, piped it down the middle with the 5-wood, 215, 220, shanked it left, pushed it right. So I had one really bad hole. Other than that, a few mishits here and there where it was just not clean contact, but it wasn't the tops that I was suffering from the past couple of weeks. So the short game, the putting was average and ordinary. My chipping, I still continue to feel very confident and proud of because I've put a lot of work in the backyard and around the green into that, really doing a better job getting the ball much closer to the pin, feeling more confident with solid contact off the tee, and we're just moving in the right direction. The second hole that stands out that I really want to share is I drove out of bounds on this big dogleg left par 5. And so I took my drop, and I've got a 7-iron. And I'm trying to lay up because it starts to dogleg left where I'd have to be a little too aggressive over the trees. So I'm trying to put the ball between about 180 and 195 yards, which should leave me about a 30-yard chip shot onto the green. What happens, though, is I got a hold of that sucker on the green in 2, of course, the penalty. So I scored a birdie plus a penalty, so really took a par on that hole. But that was really fun to see just what the potential is when I really get my entire body involved and swinging to, through, down on, and through, committed with the entire aspect of the shot. And I'm excited. I've got another round of 9 tomorrow morning, or when you're listening to this, it's Tuesday morning. Another round of 18 on Friday at a new course for me, which they say is an incredibly tight and difficult course. So I will get adequate practice off the tee box here, continue to do my slow motion and off the ball drills as well. But I also want to talk about what else I will be doing. I mentioned I'm going to start incorporating a lot of mirror work, a lot of slow motion repetitions. And I've also purchased and subscribed to the Future Golf app to better improve my golf-specific mobility, flexibility, and core strength. And the goal will be to complete those prescribed exercises a minimum of 3 times per week as well. And I'm excited. 2025 is the year of tournament play. And I will raise my game on and off the course, my approach, my preparation to another level. And that starts today. So The takeaway of this episode is lots of progress, so much to work on, feeling encouraged, feeling confident, going to get back at it this week. And then, of course, pause, enjoy being a dad, the family, and really prioritizing taking care of the little one and my baby mama to make sure she is wonderful, healthy, happy, he is cared for, and the golf will slowly creep back up in due time. But for now, as long as I'm podcasting, he's not here yet. If you see me drop off and miss an episode, it's probably because he has came, but I sincerely thank you and appreciate you for listening. I continue to find your support indescribably wonderful. I continue to strive to provide you as much value, vulnerability, and just raw, real talk on my journey to scratch here. And I thank you for tuning in. Have a fantastic week of practice, of play. Hit them straight, and we'll catch you in the next episode.